So we are going to work on creative credit today, and we really need to focus on this before we begin our real research because you are going to be required to give credit to the places and people that you borrowed resources from for your research project. So your learning goal today is that students will be able to apply technology research skills to gather information from district resources. Okay, so we're going to be getting a lot of things for our multimedia project because we're going to be borrowing photos and videos and maybe audio and definitely print information. So our goal is to be a 3. So to be a 3, you have an understanding of the learning goal, and you can independently, by yourself, demonstrate and apply that understanding of the concepts of creative credit, such as copyright, citing sources, plagiarism, through upcoming projects. So we're going to do a little practice run today, and we may have to finish it next week, but we're going to start a practice run today. And when we are practicing today, these are going to be examples of what you may need to do in your multimedia project so that you are not plagiarizing any of your work. So let's watch a real quick video on plagiarism from Brainpop.
Thanks. Hey Moby, your new wireless card finally came. We'll just plug this in, and you'll be online in no time. Hey, this connection is pretty fast. Can you check our email? Dear Tim and Moby, I would like to find information about plagiarism. Can you help? From Iris. Glad you asked, Iris. That's a really important topic. Plagiarism is the act of submitting someone else's work as your own. Whether it's a science paper, a book report, or an art project, you can't steal someone else's words and ideas. Well, yeah, some examples are pretty obvious. Say you have to write a report on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. You go to the internet and find a great resource that tells you all about the book. If you copy and paste some of the text into your own paper and hand it in, well, that's a pretty clear example of plagiarism. Yep, copying from a source and passing it off as your own work is plagiarism, whether it's a book, an article, an old paper your sister wrote, anything. Well, when your teacher assigns you work, she's not asking you to copy someone else's ideas. She wants to find out how well you know the material and how well you can put your own ideas into writing. Plagiarizing someone else's work is like cheating off of someone else during a test. So, if you're caught doing it, you'll probably get a 0 on the assignment. Or, if you're lucky, you'll be asked to rewrite it. In high school or college, you might fail the entire class or face even harsher consequences. It's not that you can't consult encyclopedias, books, and websites for your assignments. In fact, you should use these sources. The key is you have to attribute or give credit to your sources. For example, if you use someone else's words verbatim, that means quoted exactly, word for word, you have to put them in quotation marks. And every time you do this, you should credit the author. One of the easiest ways to do this is to say, according to, and then add the name of your source. You can also attribute your quotes in footnotes or endnotes, explaining where the information came from. Finally, at the end of the paper, you'll need to include a bibliography. That's a list of all the works you consulted when you wrote it. I was just getting to that. Many examples of plagiarism aren't obvious cut and paste jobs. In fact, a lot of students end up plagiarizing by accident. For instance, you might borrow a few key words or phrases from a source. See, the source sentence was, "The timelessness of Lewis's prose lies in his imaginative use of allegory." And you wrote, "The key to Lewis's timeless prose lies in his imagination and use of allegory." You didn't really paraphrase the material or put it into your own words. You just rearranged the sentence. You used a lot of the same words, and some of them are pretty fancy. I bet you don't even know what allegory means. If you can't explain something from your own paper without looking at your notes, you probably need to do a better job of paraphrasing. Now, how about this instead? Lewis's creative use of symbolic storytelling has kept his writing popular to this day. The thing is, though, we're still borrowing the source's basic idea that Lewis's symbolism has kept his work popular. Yeah, a lot of people forget that. You have to attribute borrowed ideas, too, not just words. It can be tricky untangling your own ideas from your sources, so when in doubt, give credit. There are a few other ways to guard against accidental plagiarism, too. If you're taking notes from your sources, put big quotation marks around all direct quotes, even if you're only keeping a few words. And write the name of your source next to every single note you take, whether it's a website, book, or printed article. These are pretty simple strategies, and if you use them properly, you can avoid major trouble. You already wrote that on your blog? Must have gotten stuck in my head when I read it a few months back. What? I didn't do it on purpose.
So now that we have a better understanding of what Creative Credit is, we are going to click on Angel. Find our, oh no, I'm sorry. We are going to go to 4th and 5th grade student citation practice. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, so you click on that link and it pops up. So citation practice. Screen clip a picture of the job you plan to research from a district resource. So we need to find a picture here. So I'm going to minimize this for a second. I'm going to go back to Angel. And this time I'm clicking on my Student Resources stack of books. And you can go to any of the resources that we've discussed, but I'm going to go to World Book Online, Student, and I type in the profession that is number 1 on my list that I'm most interested in researching. So let's say it's teacher. See if I can find any pictures. Okay, so let's try this. Teaching. Much better. So you may have to try a few different combinations to find what you're looking for. I could steal this photo, or I could click on this tab up here that says Images, Videos, and Audio. And here's multiple teacher photos. So I'm going to pick this one because I like it. So it's bigger. I come back down to the bottom of my screen, click on Microsoft Word. Insert, screenshot, screen clipping, wait for it to turn gray, perfect. And I'm going to take my mouse, I click, and I drag. So here's my photo. Now, number one, it's too big, and number two, I need to make it so it will go on top of the words here. So see this little icon right next to it? This is the text wrap icon. So I click on this, and I want it to go in front of text. So I'm going to click on this one, make it smaller, and then I can just move it into this box. Now, I need to give credit to the website where I found it. So what I really like to do so that I know I don't misspell anything is I like to split my screen. So if I press the window icon on my keyboard, the window key, and the right arrow, this goes to the right of my screen. And then I have options of what I want to take up the other half of my screen. So I'm going to click on this because that's where I was at. Okay, so I'm done with the photo and I'm at World Book Student. So I'm going to put World Book Student Online. So that's where I got the picture. Now, down here, number 2, it says click on the link below. Find a fun fact about a job and write it in the text box below. Make sure to cite your resource. So to do this, I need to hold the control key and click. There it goes. And I'm still in my half screen. Okay, so I'm on Wikipedia. Okay, I'm going to scroll down, see what I can find. I need to find education. There's a bachelor's in education. Oh, professional titles. So I want this. E for education. Okay, so I found teacher. A school teacher, an educator. Okay, so I've always found this interesting. Sometimes I want to move to one of these countries. Teacher qualifications is linked to the status of the profession. In some societies, teachers enjoy a status on par with physicians, that'd be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and accountants. In others, the status of the profession is lower. So I can say in my box, in some countries, because again, do I want to type word for word what they had? No, I want to put it into my own thoughts. In some countries, are thought to be as important as doctors or lawyers. And again, it's easy for me to spell everything correctly because I have my screen split, so I can put it over here. And I'm going to put according to Wikipedia, okay, so I said where I got my information. Okay, let's go to the next one. Click in the link below to find a fun fact about your job. So I'm going to click on this link. Remember, you press and hold Control and click at the same time. Let's see if I can just search teacher up here. Okay, so what kind of teacher do you want to be? Well, I'm an elementary school teacher, so I'm just going to go with that.
Okay, so there's all of this quick facts about the job. Employment of kindergarten and elementary school teachers is projected to grow 6% from 2014 to 2024. I think that's interesting. So, since this profession is going to grow, is this a good profession to get into? Possibly, yes. Do I want to go to school for a profession that isn't looking for anybody? Am I going to be able to find a job if that's not a profession that's growing? No. So, I mean, at least the education field is a growing one where I should be able to find a job. So, I'm going to put that. According to, I'll go back to where this website is in a second. Related jobs will be growing by 6% over by 2024. Okay, and let's see what this website was again. Oh, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Oops. And I still spelled that wrong, and I'm looking right at it. Okay, so according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, education-related jobs will be growing by 6% by 2024. Which resource would be, number 4, which resource would be most reliable source to use for our research project? Number 2, Wikipedia, or number 3, the Bureau of Labor Statistics? You're going to put that in here. So you'll put number and then 2 or 3. Good luck!